Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Tim Fulton.
I'm Andy Smith.
And this is What Do You Got? We are skipping the intro because it's too important. We got to jump right into it. We're going to be talking about some stonks.
Stonks, baby.
Stonks, man.
Oh, shit.
What is happening in this world right now?
Madness.
Absolute madness. All right, so a lot has been going on between Gamestop, a bunch of other stocks like BlackBerry, Nokia, the Dogecoin.
So, real quick, just so everybody's on the same track. First of all, disclaimer, we have no idea what we're talking about. But we're going to pretend like we do. Give us the lowdown of what you know that happened in this past couple days when it came to stocks, particularly stock with GameStop.
Okay, particularly with GameStop, because that's the one that I know most about. A whole bunch of hedge funds make a routine idea of shorting a stock. That basically means you are betting against the stock. You want it to fail. People noticed that there were so many short sales against GameStop. There was more than there were actual stocks, like stock amounts.
Yeah.
Which is a big no-no. And it's a big indication that the stock is about to go up because of reasons. This is where like my logic hits its limit because like I don't understand how that part works.
Well, blue blood people know what they're doing, so their history has shown that because of this thing, it's going to go up, in which case they're going to sell and then make a shitload of money.
Yes. So one really smart guy, a few guys, but one guy in particular realized this was going to happen and put a whole bunch of money into GameStop.
His life savings, right? Like $50-some thousand.
I think it was someone relatively famous too. It was like the head of some sort of company.
Okay.
I know the guy you're talking about, and it's not just him.
Yeah, it's like a community of people.
It's a community of people. Well, the community of people caught on to what was happening here and was like, all right, we're going to do it too.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, someone bet on the stock going up because of this issue to a lot of people betting on this for that issue. And because the buying demand was so much incredibly higher than the selling demand, stocks have the same type of response to the market as any other good, supply and demand. It increased the price of the stock incredibly. And then everyone was saying, all right, now don't sell. Let's keep it like this because we got these hedge fund guys in a corner. And it's all that can happen is the stock is going to go up and up and up and up. And they were right.
So just to be clear, this was basically like kind of like a plan to some extent after it got rolling, and it was almost spread around the Reddit community to not sell. Because it was kind of like a big middle finger to the hedge fund guys, almost like you get every other one, we're taking this one, so we're not going to sell. We're going to wait till everyone gets in, and then we're going to decide what to do with it.
Basically, and so. There was, I don't want to go as far as saying it was planned because no one had planned this. I mean, someone saw a keen opportunity, they took it, a bunch of people followed suit, and the stars aligned, and everyone was like suddenly like jumped on board and was like, we're all about this. And now there is a plan now to not sell. Everyone's rhetoric is do not sell this stock.
Yeah.
And today, Thursday the 28th, big change happened. Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, I believe Charles Schwab, and a couple of
Charles Schwab as well.
Yeah, a couple of other companies decided you're no longer allowed to purchase these stocks, not just GameStop. So this happened with GameStop, but then it started to have a ripple effect to other companies as well, like the ones I mentioned before, BlackBerry.
Well, because they had a thing on Reddit that they were going to try to attempt to do this with other companies, and then like all these subgroups started popping up and trying to get things going with other companies. And I had heard about this the day before. I had actually tried to buy BlackBerry, Nokia, and AMC, just as be a part of something. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm not betting things that I'm going to lose my shirt on.
Yeah.
So, I checked this morning, and I was telling one of my other friends, like, hey, this is what's going on. Up to you, but if you want to go in, do it now before the stocks open because it could shoot up, it could plummet. 9 o'clock happened. 9:05, nothing. You couldn't even search. You could Robinhood, Charles Schwab. I have I use those two mainly. And you couldn't even search at all, let alone couldn't find Nokia, BlackBerry, AMC, or GameStop. And then after I realized that my sale was on hold, it literally said you no longer can purchase this on our brokerage.
Yeah, this was so unbelievable to me that I didn't realize what happened right away in the morning. And you had mentioned to me that this was happening.
Yeah.
And I originally thought I had heard yesterday that the SEC was going to get involved because they thought some illegal activity was happening. And there is an argument to be made that it's possible that what the Reddit community is doing might be illegal because they are manipulating the market. But the analogy I make, and it's an argument, I'm not taking one stand or the other, but if they are, it would be like someone beating the crap out of you. And you get one good swing in, and then someone looking at you being like, you just assaulted him.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That 100% is how I see it and how I feel. If they even it would be a legitimate argument. I would love to see two lawyers actually go.
I would love to be smart enough to know what the laws were.
Yeah.
Because I would have a better understanding of this, obviously. But there is something to be said when it comes to legality of how this plays out. But I would think that because it's not one or two or three people that have a mass amount of money who called each other in pre-planning and did this, the fact that it's basically across a wide variety, there's so many people involved that are not in the conspiracy, they just kind of jumped on. I don't see how you can pin it to one person. It'd almost be like, so from now on, it's like, well, if you say to buy a stock, if you tell your friend to buy a stock, you're manipulating the market. That's all they really did.
Yeah, and that actually brings up a good point. My buddy and I were talking about this earlier this week about the legality of all this, and he and I are both stupid, so we really couldn't pin it down. What's up, Little Thick?
What's up, Lick?
Little Thick. It's a
Little Thick.
What was it going on about this? But even if what they were doing is illegal, Reddit's anonymous. Like, good luck. Good luck finding who these people are.
I don't think you understand the kind of money they're fucking with, Tim. I don't think you really get this. You think those blue blood fucks? I said it. F word.
Don't you dare say that F word in front of my presence.
If you think that that was like one of my first thoughts yesterday when this happened. As soon as I found out it was because of my buddy that I know was talking to me about it in the middle of the day. And as soon as he was talking about it, he's like, yeah, they're sticking it to the man. I'm like, I don't know if you know how deep their roots run, sir. Like, they are not gonna lay down and just take this without doing something to at least mitigate the amount of times or chances that this is going to happen. And they did it the next day.
And so a lot of what we stated is more or less fact.
Yeah.
The whole
we're just going to say it's fact.
No, I mean like the Robinhood and all those other.
That is correct.
Those are facts. But there's also the speculative side of what's going on. So these hedge funds, a lot of times Robinhood is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these free trading apps are interesting because how do they make money, right? When you have to always be cautious about getting into something that you're not paying someone for because there has to be something that they're doing. They're not getting ad revenue. But they're making money.
But they have liquid money because the money that you put in there sits in there.
I understand that, and that is true, but it's not the type of money that they're going for long term.
No, but there's a weird thing that happened when Robinhood came out. I don't know if they were the first to do free trading, but as soon as they offered it, a lot of other firms adopted it. A lot of other firms started allowing you to trade for free. Because I remember telling people about it in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then as soon as like a year or two had gone, maybe a year had gone by, and then I talked to somebody else and they were like, oh no, this one does it for free now too. And it was like a long-standing firm, like a what do you call it? The trading, whatever the fuck they are. Brokerage firm. And I think it's just almost like how, if an airline all of a sudden says, oh, we don't charge you for the bag anymore. Now everyone has to do it because they jumped the gun,
Anyway, back to the speculative part is that a lot of the they do have liquid money now, but I guess at the beginning or even still now, they're being backed by hedge funds. A lot of their liquid assets come from hedge funds because eventually they are going to make money. Whether they're in the black now or they're going to be in the black in the future, this is going to be a proven business model.
Yeah.
So someone's backing them. So the theory is that these hedge funds turned around, came to them, and were like, "No, stop. This is the end of this."
Yeah. Well, they did it to Charles Schwab too, and they charge.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean when the amount of power, and that is what I think might be, at least from a moral standpoint, more illegal than what the Reddit community did.
1,000%.
Because what they're basically saying is we're allowed to control the market by doing these short sales and raising the price and then selling it. But you as a community, because you don't know what you're doing and you're jumping on it, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Because it's too volatile.
Yeah.
Like they've controlled this whole thing. Really, they controlled. I don't know how the stock market works. Nobody really knows how the stock market.
I think
goes
we had
up
a
or
whole
down.
other podcast on this one.
I think we did, but there is something to be said about people that have been in it and kind of bred into it, that have lived in that life and have the funding and have the money to basically dictate what is going to go up, what's going to go down, and all that. Like it's a however long it's been. I'm sure since it started.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous.
But
and
they don't like the fact that the little guy got one over and pulled the curtain back.
It's almost like Reddit became its own mutual fund.
Yeah.
Intelligent mutual fund that anyone can grab a hold on for free. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So, from a moral state, because here's the other thing that I don't want to have happen. Like, as fucked up and crazy as the people are that run this thing, there is something to be said about stability. And you don't want to start making the stock market a super unstable place across the board, because that's going to have really bad effects for everybody. And there is this notion of like, yeah, fuck the millionaire. And like people that have money, people just hate them because they have money.
Yeah.
I don't see the sentiment in that, because like they got money. That's not a reason to hate someone. The manipulation and the not letting anyone have a fair shake, I can get that. I have more of a problem when, the little guy actually beat the system or did the same thing you're doing, and then you turn around and you're like, no, we do that. You don't do that. That's our thing.
No, you have a good point. So these examples, they're friggin' hysterical.
Yes.
They're comical.
Yeah.
It's the best thing. It's been the best thing of my week. It's got me through this week. But I think a lot of these kids, like, and I call them kids. I know that there's going to be a huge age range, but let's face it, the Wall Street Bets Reddit community is going to be mostly comprised of like 18 to 29-year-olds.
Ask
mostly.
anyone over the age of 40 if they know what Reddit is. There you go.
Some people do.
Some people do. Ask anyone under the age of 25 if they know what Reddit is. Almost everybody.
Yeah.
So you're talking a very specific age group community as a whole for the most part.
So a lot of these guys are very, very well educated on this specific example, but I don't think they're very well educated on the broad aspect of what's going on. And there is a problem with creating a bubble with these stocks. Yeah, they're winning now. Don't get me wrong. And I think it's absolutely hysterical. And I am part of not fuck rich people, but fuck those hedge fund guys, because they've manipulated the market so long against everybody else that they deserve this kick in the pants.
Yeah.
But creating a bubble in these stocks is not okay. It's not that it's not okay, but it's dangerous.
That's what I was going with.
Yeah,
it's a dangerous game.
GameStop does not have the business model right now to justify $1,000 per share stock. It doesn't.
No, they don't. You're right.
They don't, which means at some point the stock is going to go back down. And you have people who are jumping on board now recently, and they're putting legit money into this. If you're putting a couple bucks into this, hoping this goes from $300 to $1,000, all the power to you, dude. All the power to you. But you're getting people who are putting serious cash in this. And if this goes for broke and ends up going back down to even $50, well, that's what happens when a bubble bursts. And it's a real fear.
Well, that's one of the things I meant where there's going to be a lot of hypocrisy on both sides.
Yeah.
And one of the things, like one of the attitudes I always see when people talk about the stock market is it's like everything that the rich people do is fucked up. And everything that they do is either really smart or they got fucked.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to put, like, I saw stories and people posting stuff like college kids, I don't know if they're true, but college kids taking out like $10,000 loans and buying GameStop shares at $3.50 a pop. But then if they lose that money, they can't turn around and be like, fuck you, Mr. Millionaire, because it's like, dude, listen,
took the risk.
This is a fucked up game, but it is a game.
Yeah.
And you're playing a game, and every game has winners and losers. So you can't be mad if you give out as a loser. Now, for those people that got in early and their stock rose and then they froze sale and buys, that's fucked up. Because if you bought in at $200 a share or $300 a share and it spiked up and you made 50 grand and then it plummeted and you couldn't sell because these people are like, no, like this isn't okay.
No.
And we want to teach you a lesson. That's basically what it was, is we want to teach you a lesson to not do this. And we're going to make this extra volatile. We're going to have it real confusing about where to point the finger. All these companies, like I got emails this morning. I started getting emails when I logged in. It was asking me, like, what would you do if all your stock crashed right now? Would you sell it or would you hold on to it? Like, I couldn't buy or trade until I filled out the questionnaire. And they were basically probing you to make you, to kind of see what you would do in a volatile market.
Yeah.
Which is totally uncalled for.
No, it's hugely unethical.
Yeah.
At the best, it's hugely unethical.
And, you know, it just, I just feel like they wanted to make this a really hectic problem. Like the people that were mad about this, like the millionaire people, you know, the hedge fund group or whatever, like the bad guy, they want to make this really scary.
Yeah.
For the average person, so that nobody wants to do it again. But Reddit community, places like that, they're like the nerd community where like they don't give a shit, which is hilarious. But it also is the kind of people that you need to counter that.
So, and that's why I kind of sit in the middle of the board there. Like, I agree with you. All those hedge fund guys, like, screw off. But like at the same time, and they're in a lot of trouble because this GameStop story is the first story. It's not the last story. People aren't going to go back to life as normal after this. Like, this is going to be a thing going on where, especially as we get additional free apps and whatnot, because now that Robinhood is an enemy, Robinhood has become an enemy. There's going to be a new free app that's going to emerge, and it's going to be continuous. So you're always going to have these 18 to 29-year-old kids who are buying into trends, who are following like Reddit or any other amusing thing. It's not going to go away, which means the stock market game as a whole is now changing dramatically.
Yeah.
So, A, those hedge fund guys have to learn to adjust. For them, that's step number one. B, it's terrifying, even for the common whatnot, because again, this one was hysterical. I love that they're winning. They're winning, by the way. Reddit is winning.
Well, they're making a dent. They're making a dent. Whatever it is, it's a dent.
They're not winning the war, but this battle they're winning.
Yes.
But as someone who has like, I don't know, like a 401k, who doesn't even know where his money is invested because like 401k guy does that, like it's a little terrifying that we don't know what this. Yeah. This is a precedent, and we don't know what this is a precedent for.
Yeah.
That is Tim Fulton's take on this.
I think that especially how like today's pulse is on how people act and how people do things. There is this like stocks is going to be the new thing that everyone's an expert on. And
I talk like I'm an expert, but
we're not.
I almost bet $1,000 on McGregor last weekend.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
And I told you not to. So ipso facto, I am smart. So
if I sound all high and mighty, I'm a couch chair warrior when it comes to UFC and stock markets.
But the thing is, the thing is that we know we don't know.
Yeah.
That's almost a a better thing to do. Like this is not a thing to be naive in or
Yeah.
to not know that you don't know things, because you can lose a shitload of money that way.
Dude, can you imagine if you were 18? 18-year-olds can get loans. Can you imagine if you got like even a $5,000 loan? You're like, I know this is gonna work.
Well, $5,000 you could dig yourself out of. What
but mom
where
and
it
dad
really
might
becomes
beat
a
you to
problem
death.
is all the gamblers who are like that gambling mentality of like, I'm gonna put my mortgage on it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take a lien against my house and jump on this opportunity. And they're gonna be crying on Facebook that 2 weeks later possibly that this didn't work out. But the other thing that was interesting is one of the emails that I got right before you got here was from Robinhood.
I got that email too. There's a
was
reason
this-
why I have my phone out.
Yeah, it was this thrown together thing.
I want to read it
Yeah.
a little bit because
You can read it. It basically was, the sum of it was, we're going to allow limited purchasing of the following companies. We didn't do this based on anyone's instruction.
And that's the other thing. Robinhood, when they did this morning, they made an announcement that they did it because it's too volatile. They want to protect people.
Oh.
And everyone's like, I could put my life savings into your app
Didn't matter the day before.
and put it all onto Garlic Coin. It's literally a Bitcoin named after garlic.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't bat an eye.
No.
I don't even know if that's tradable, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a couple of funny things in here. It's like, it's been a tough day, and we're grateful for you to being a Robinhood customer. It's been a tough day.
You know that
For
they got
us.
100,000 one-star reviews today alone, which I was very.
They also got there's a class action lawsuit against them already.
You know what's really messed up though?
What?
Is that people that are putting the one-star reviews, I get the sentiment, but you also have to remember you still have money in there. You still have a stake in that company.
Yeah, you do.
So
Well-
like you're kind of biting the hand.
Well, there's multiple things. One, you have money. If you have cash in Robinhood, get it out.
The
If you
stocks will transfer.
Stocks, if you own a stock, you own the stock. They manage it for you, but you own the stock. If they go out of business for whatever reason, if they just implode tomorrow, like the actual building just implodes and everyone dies and it's a horrific tragedy, please don't blow up any buildings. I just don't mean that.
Yeah, sending the wrong message here. There's a lot of revolution talk.
You
lately.
still own the stock. How you go about getting it, I don't know. But someone else will eventually end up managing it for you. And also, you're able to transfer stock. I think Robinhood costs $75, but you're able to transfer your stock from one to another.
Okay. All of it, or $75 per stock?
Not per share. That'd be dumb.
No, per stock. Like,
I genuinely don't know.
okay.
I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I did see a video of one of the hedge fund guys losing his shit on an interview, and this is it's funny because like if they had to get together and we're like, all right, which is the least sounding evil person that we could put on TV to calm the common folk down, and this is the best they came up with. I want to know who the emperor of the evil people was. He basically said, not verbatim, but the gist of it was, all these regular people are sitting at home getting government checks and messing up the stock market. It's bullshit. He literally said it's bullshit. Like, dude, he can't. He's so losing his shit that the commoner, the peasant, is messing with his new yacht money.
Yeah.
That he's like,
And see, this is why people hate rich people. It's not rich people. It's jerks.
it's
all right?
hilarious watching a supervillain type guy just be that guy though on TV. Like, not, he's so in his own world. He's like, yeah, we call him common folk all the time. Like, what's the problem? Just totally out of tune.
Go back to work, commoners. Go back to work.
Yeah. It really was crazy. And
If you do this again, we're going to change 9 to 5 from 9 to 10 at night.
yeah.
Be grateful. Be grateful.
So where do you think this ends up? What do you think happens? Because right now they seem to be locking down things that, like, all those companies that they listed in that email were all companies that, not all that I heard of, but I'm sure they were all companies that were mentioned on Reddit that they were going to try this with.
So they're already gaining a lot of traction with notable politicians, and it seems to be very bipartisan at this point. That people want to go after people who are causing this, because if we thought that the hedge funds people were committing market, were manipulating the market, if we thought Reddit was manipulating the market, Robinhood definitely manipulated the market. There's no like batting an eye on that one. This is pure, plain and simple market manipulation.
Anyone that put a stop on the stocks,
yes,
to be buying and sold, which from my understanding was a lot of them.
Yeah,
almost all of them.
I don't know the numbers on that one. So
no, I don't. But everyone that I know was freaking out because they couldn't do it, and not everyone I know has the same ones that I have.
Yeah.
So
it was a decent chunk.
Yeah.
So they're going to. So there will definitely be at least an investigation into this. My fear is that these these companies get fined something insignificant, or even if they get in trouble, we're going after the wrong bad guys here. The players behind the scenes, these hedge funds, they're the bad guys, because if they were able, and again, this is speculation. Yeah. This is why we need investigations and all that other.
Yeah, put your tinfoil hat on.
Yeah.
And just
all right. Yeah. Tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
These hedge fund guys were able to push money around so much that they were able to tell brokerages, you're not selling this stock anymore. So if these brokerages get in trouble and get shut down, it's like arresting an infantryman and letting the general go. You got to get the general.
Yeah.
You got to get the guy responsible for these atrocities. And otherwise it's just going to repeat itself, maybe in a more intelligent fashion. So I don't think, and I'm afraid that that's going to be what happens. Again, I have no...
These people are very smart, though. And I
know.
These people, meaning the people that are behind the scenes pulling the strings.
Yeah.
So
the puppeteers.
Yeah. If you think about it, that would be their game, would be to put it on the companies that they could literally just make a new one of.
Exactly.
Let them take the heat for it.
And like everyone's talking about, like Robinhood's the big, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Robinhood's the big story right now. Everyone's talking about Robinhood. Like Robinhood is the face of this. Yeah. A, Robinhood wasn't the only one who did this. B, Robinhood's going to go out of business anyway at this point.
I should take my stocks out of it.
Yeah. Everyone is point blank saying everyone's doing that. That's the thing. Everyone's pulling their everything out of Robinhood. So they're going to collapse from within very quickly, in my opinion.
Okay.
They're going to be a shell.
You're scaring me now.
They're
scaring me.
They're going to
make me want to end this podcast right now and go sell all my stock.
Well,
stop it.
Phone vibrate.
You're manipulating the market, Tim.
You're so in debt now.
I'm going to class action your lawsuit.
You now owe Biden $1 bajillion. I don't even know how that happened.
Well, this is what happens when you play the stock market. No, but in all seriousness,
I just wanted GameStop to do well.
in all seriousness, though, they're gonna find a way to skate this. A lot of these people are gonna find a way to skate this.
Yeah, they are.
The people that are actually responsible are never gonna have anything happen to them if they actually did something illegal. All the blame is gonna be put on the face of it or the things that directed. Like, I look at Robinhood as almost like if you get arrested for a bullshit law, right? Let's just say like you can't wear green on Thursdays. You get arrested for that. Instead of getting mad at the politician that passed it, you get mad at the cop.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's a really good analogy.
I get it. You're aiming it but you're missing. You're missing the mark by a mile. Like, it's aimed kind of in the right, but it's nowhere near the right at the same time.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, they're a part of the system, but they're not the one that was doing it. They're just a pawn. You know, they're just an enforcer of the system.
Yeah.
And you know, if they have all these backings, and I think that part of the problem or part of the reason why this came about was because they've been doing these things for so long and they've been getting away with doing it forever. They thought they were just going to be able to just pull these strings, do this shit, and then no one's going to know what they were doing. But because of the days of the internet are here, the days of posting shit instantly are here, I don't think a lot of these guys understand the pulse of that today. A lot of the guys that are hedge fund people are probably, I would say, of the older generation, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
So they're like, what do you mean they found out? How? How'd they find out? Like, the post office is closed.
What's a Reddit?
Yeah.
I don't know why they're
It is fucking crazy, though, man. It really is a nutty time.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm nervous now. I'm going to pull my stocks out. Robinhood.
Yeah.
Put it in another one.
Another bad guy.
Yeah.
Don't invest in any stocks ever. Keep your cash under your mattress.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yes. Keep it all under your mattress.
Keep it all under my mattress.
All right. Any final thoughts on stonks?
I have no idea how the stock market works.
Neither do I. It was fun pretending like we did, though.
I know.
It really was.
Let us know what you think about these stonks in the comment section down below. Also, did you know that the best way to find out about the new Bro Down podcast is to follow us on our social media accounts? We have an Instagram, we have a Facebook, and the links to both of those are in the comment section down below. So make sure you like, subscribe, and like those, and do all the things.
If you don't like doing it that way, though, you can go to our YouTube page and subscribe because we need some subscribers.
We do.
They help us.
They do.
It's like investing in a stock. All right?
A free one.
Make us be the next GameStop.
Do your thing, Reddit. Peace out, everybody.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day.